Hi, hello. Today we're going to be doing another Reddit video because I can't think of anything else to do. Alright, this is on my front page. I was not planning to read this, but it piqued my interest. My husband died and I have to pretend that he was a great man who loved me. Best of Redditor updates. Trigger warning, infidelity, intimidation, spousal abuse, verbal. I'm guessing verbal abuse, but it doesn't say it. My husband passed away 3 months ago. I was relieved of that. He abused me financially, mentally, and even physically. When I got pregnant, he convinced me to quit my job, saying that he would take care of me. I could never buy anything again without asking his permission. I couldn't even buy a cream without asking his permission, and he decided if I could or not. Even months ago that I had a little money of my own, I had to ask him for permission to buy something. What was mine was his, and his was his. But I stayed there because I still loved him and I didn't have a place to go. I had too low self-esteem and let myself be stepped on. When I stopped loving him, he had already had his first affair. He made me believe that I was to blame for the affair because I didn't want to have sex months after my birth that left me torn and I had to receive stitches. I was already planning my exit and saving money little by little while I was working selling things from home since he wouldn't let me work outside because he was very jealous. I wanted to pay for a lawyer. He was having another affair with a friend of his, which luckily kept him busier, and I didn't care anymore that he didn't pay attention to me. I wanted him to stay as far away as possible. I knew that man and he knew me. I could have made a big fuss, but I didn't. I kept quiet and planning my way out while he and that man slept together in secret. I only felt disgusted by my husband, nothing more. But my husband died in a way I never would have expected. He is now a martyr. Martyr? He is a martyr. When someone dies, all the sins of that person disappear, because that's what even my family thinks. Those who knew about his affair and how he manipulated me are now talking about how good of a man he was, and we shouldn't insult someone who's dead. Everyone around me talks about how beautiful our relationship was. His family talks about what a great man he was and how always he focused on giving everything to me and our kid. His affair partner hugged me at the funeral saying that my husband loved me. His friends told me what a great person he was. Everyone talks about how good he is and how he's now an angel in heaven. And I have to pretend to be sad. The day he died, I cried a lot, but not out of sadness. I cried with relief and felt free. It would have taken me too many years to save and pay for lawyers with my little store without him realizing that I was keeping the money in secret. He would have kept everything. He would have made my life hell, and I know it because he had told me so every time I stood up for myself. But now I have the house. I have everything. I have monthly money for being a widow. I have my children totally with me. I have started to see a psychologist. Everyone thinks that I do it to cope with my grief, but no, it is to overcome the abuse I suffered from him. It was really hard to pretend to be sad at the funeral, but I did it for my child. I did it because now everything is over and I'm free. If I made a fuss, my ex-mother-in-law would have done something so that I wouldn't keep anything. They were just like him. But now I'm just a sad widow who needs help in their eyes. The silly widow who didn't know anything, but that's helping me be free and have what I deserve. Sorry for the bad English. I used the traductor. I'm guessing translator. I used the translator for many parts. Edit. We are not from an Islamic country, and here same-sex couples can live and marry freely. He just cheated on me with a man, like he cheated on me with a woman. I guess he was bisexual. Relevant comics. I am stuck on his affair partner hugging you and telling you he loved you. She had the balls to show up at the funeral. Damn, you have more control than I could ever have mustered. Cheers to a life full of fun and love. OOP. His affair partner was his football teammate and friend. He is a man. Thanks. Update. Oh, wait. Hold on. I can finally use the hat. Update. It's been several weeks since I last posted, and I didn't expect my post to end in other places. Honestly, I had totally forgotten that I posted here, but a few days ago, the lover and friend of my ex-husband, I have started calling my deceased husband that way. I don't want to be eternally tied to the idea that he is still my husband even after my death. Death did me the favor of separating us. A friend of my ex-husband visited my house saying that he found my post. I didn't expect him to find it and it scared me a bit, but honestly there's nothing I could do about this anymore if someone has posted it elsewhere without asking me first. One of my sons let him in when I hadn't heard the doorbell, so I had no choice but to let him in and not make drama in front of my kids, and I wanted to know what he was going to say. Once alone, he told me that he knows that I know about him and my husband having an affair because of the post I sent to TikTok, although I never did any posts on TikTok. That's why I think someone uploaded this there. He told me that my husband was not the best husband, but he was a great friend to everyone and a very hardworking man to everyone, that even his family misses him too much, and even though he has his mistakes in the past, that I should let go of the past and stop digging into it because we're all better off like that. He was insisting for a while to such an extent that I felt intimidated by him, to the point he reminded me of my husband, and it is the first time that I have had that feeling about a man that is not my ex-husband. I can talk peacefully with them, but this situation made me feel on the verge of a panic attack because of his attitude. He's basically scared that I'll tell everything. He's gay, and I don't know if he has a boyfriend, but maybe he does, and that's why he doesn't want me to say anything about their affair. I've been a submissive woman for years. My ex-husband turned me into a fearful woman that I wasn't before. He made me the kind of woman who was always going to put her head down, but when he died, I felt so happy and liberated. I cried with relief for days. And when this man came into my house to tell me what to do, it was like seeing my ex-husband again, giving me instructions about how to behave and what to do. The man knows very well that I was in an abusive relationship because he knew how my ex was and chose to sleep with him anyways. The man my husband made me cook for and then fucked him as if I were just a maid, telling me my ex was a good person and that I should shut my mouth. He was telling me what to do and I just punched his face. To be honest, I wanted to slap him, but for some reason I felt so angry that I hit him, and it felt like hitting my husband too. I don't regret it, and I felt good. I yelled at him and told him to leave, or I was going to tell everyone what happened. He ended up leaving the house, and he has been quiet since that day. My main plan was just to shut my mouth and let go of the past, but that is one thing, and a totally different thing is that this man comes and wants to impose on me what to do as if I were a doll. Maybe my reaction wasn't the best, but I'm tired of people telling me to shut up. I never managed to say anything to my husband, and that day I felt that I somewhat did that. I haven't told anyone yet, nor do I think about doing so, but if he does something, I won't hesitate twice before this time, whether to make a TikTok or post on Facebook talking about everything. With the issue of the house, with the economic crisis, I am not sure that anyone can afford what a house like this is worth, but for now I have focused on finally being able to get a better job in the future, to be able to rent a house and be able to rent this house. That could be a really good way to have some money. My other goal in the future is to buy a small piece of land, no matter how far it is. I want to have something that is my own and my children's. My children don't miss their father too much, and I understand them. It has taken me a while to get them to a child psychologist, but recently they started to go to their sessions, and they are doing well. I also go to a psychologist. I think the best thing I've done is to start making excuses for my ex-mother-in-law and my own family for not seeing them as often as before. I've started the stage of cutting off contact little by little, making excuses with work or that we're not home, although I still have to let my ex-mother-in-law come home from time to time. I think even my kids are happier when they see that my own mood is better. Relevant comments. The audacity, he thinks you are still a maid. Good for you, and showing your strength and sending him on his way. The nerve. I would strongly advise you to coach your children to not allow anyone in the house, not just for AP if he returns. This includes the family you plan to distance yourself from. OOP, yes, they know that they should not open the door to strangers, but they open the door to people they know because my ex-husband always sent them to open the door for him. I have begun to explain to them that they should not open the door to anyone without telling me first, and now I leave everything with a lock and key. I don't have much to say. I think the commentary on this should be kind of obvious. I think the commentary on this should be kind of obvious. The husband, the ex-husband, was an asshole. It sucks that the person has to pretend to like this guy, but also if she's getting the house, if it's how she is getting what she deserves, then it's good that she's doing that. And it's good that she is separating herself from the husband's family, like the mother-in-law and stuff. I feel like this is a full circle story and it doesn't have much to say about it. Oh, this one is almost stupid. Sorry, but I'm 21 female having an abortion, and my boyfriend, 20 male, refuses to cancel his night out. Do I dump him? They say this like it's not an obvious answer. Dump him! Oh my god. I found out that I was around 5 weeks pregnant 5 days ago. Since then, my boyfriend has shown little support and has often stayed at home to play on his PlayStation rather than comfort me. This is my first time ever being pregnant and having an abortion, and I'm extremely stressed and upset. We both decided the best thing to do is not keep it. Yesterday, my boyfriend knew I was struggling but proceeded to go out drinking with his friend until 4 a.m. I have started my medical abortion progress today, and he is going on a night out with his friends rather than staying home to help and comfort me. I went round to his house, literally crying my eyes out because I feel upset and stressed over this abortion, but most of all, I'm upset his priority is to go out at night when I'm home alone going through this abortion. I was literally bawling my eyes out to his face, and he still refused to cancel his night out, saying it's been planned for ages. And that being with me won't make a difference or change the situation, and there's nothing he can do. He didn't even hug me or comfort me, and we haven't spoken since. He hasn't even contacted me to check if I'm okay. My blood is literally boiling. At it, he's annoyed because I didn't include this in the post, that the night out was for his friend's birthday, which was on Monday. He saw his friend on Monday and also was with him till 4 a.m. last night. Let me know if this makes a difference on the situation. Girl, no, it does not. This man is... you need to dump him. This is like, you know, on Reddit, there's those posts where when the girl posts, it's always like, he has me locked in the basement, should I leave him? And then when the men do, they're like, oh, I'm yelling at my wife for not buying the right chicken. Am I the asshole? Or the man is like, I'm locking my wife in the basement. Am I an asshole? Like women, please learn that you deserve way better than whatever the fuck that man is. Do I dump him? Yes, you dump him. Yes, you gotta dump this man. He doesn't care about you. He cares about his friend. Like, you know, I don't even think he cares about his friend. I don't think he cares about shit. He just wants to go on a night out to party or whatever. Like, he is showing you such disrespect throughout this whole story. More so, like the title itself is like, yeah, just dump him. But then you read the story and you're like, holy shit, you need to dump him. Oh, and this was from 6 hours ago. So if you somehow see this, dump that man. Dump him. Throw him in the trash. He's trash anyways, so throw him where he belongs. Am I the asshole for farting while my mother-in-law was talking to me? My 25 female mother-in-law, Susan, 53 female, is hard of hearing. She came to visit my husband, Mike, 26 male, and my husband was cooking in the kitchen while Susan and I were talking in the dining room. Susan more so talks to me while I listen because she usually doesn't hear any response I give her. Anyways, while Susan was talking, I really had to pass gas. I figured since she couldn't hear well, I just did it in front of her. It was audible, but it didn't smell. Of course, at that moment, Mike walked in and witnessed it all. He pulled me aside and told me that what I did was disgusting and disrespectful, and even if his mother couldn't hear me, I still should have held it in or excused myself. Am I the asshole for farting in front of my mother-in-law? No! You farted! It's passing gas! Like, I think it would be hilarious if I could fart right now, but I can't. I love how he pulled you aside and he's like, you shouldn't have farted right there. You shouldn't have farted. I want to say, like, oh, she could have said, like, excuse me, but the mom couldn't hear her anyways, so, like, does she have to try and say excuse me, even though it's not going to really affect anything? And thankfully that shit did not smell, because whew, that would alert them. That would alert the mom if that shit smelled. I slept with my sister's husband after she passed away from R drew off my chest. My older sister passed away 7 months ago. It was an accident, so totally unexpected, and I still don't believe she's actually gone most of the time. It feels unreal. Our family still hasn't recovered, and I don't know when or if I ever will. My sister was 10 years older than me. I'm 22 and she would be 32 now. She and her husband have 2 kids, both under 5 years old. My family has been helping him with the kids. He's a good dad, but understandably, to suddenly become a single parent to 2 very young kids, all while needing to maintain his job and dealing with the grief of losing his wife, he needs help. He moved here because my sister wanted to be near us, her family. She wanted to raise her kids where we're from, where she grew up. He's from another state originally, but he agreed to settle down here when they got married because it was so important to my sister. I think we're all nervous that he'll move away now that he has no reason to stay, and we won't get to see the kids often. I just graduated college in the spring. This past year, I was helping out with my niece and nephew a lot. I often picked them up from daycare and things like that because I have a flexible schedule compared to everyone else. I've always got along with my brother-in-law really well. He He's always been nice to me and treated me like a little sister. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to him for advice, especially regarding guides and things like that. It's easier to talk to him about certain things because he gives me more honest, unbiased advice than my parents or sister. I really thought my sister was so lucky, and he was like the type of guy everyone wants to marry. Good looking, good job, good dad, really personable, responsible, just like the definition of a complete package. My sister had been with him since they were both freshmen in college, and we all knew she was going to marry him the first time we met him. Even me as a little kid knew that he was the one. I slept with my brother-in-law this weekend. I was over there on Friday, picked up the kids from daycare, which I do every Friday since I only work half a day. I made dinner over there. I had no intention of having sex with him or trying to have sex with him. I've not been aiming for this to happen. He initiated it. I didn't say no. It started with kissing. Then he started taking my top off and I let him do it. He didn't force me, to be very clear. He's never done anything that I consider inappropriate with me or towards me. At the time, I enjoyed it. It made me feel so good that he wanted me. But at the same time, I kept thinking, this is wrong, this is wrong. I sort of just laid there. It was very much about him getting off. I think he just needed it to feel comforted or something. Afterwards, we got dressed and didn't say anything. Then he said he was really sorry and that we shouldn't have done that. I told him it was okay. He said he'd prefer if we don't tell anyone about it. I didn't plan to. I feel so dirty about it. It was so wrong. I feel like a little kid who has done something that they're going to get punished for, and I'm convinced somebody is going to find out. The first comment, bet that post-nut clarity hit like an atom bomb. They didn't want, this isn't like an Am I the Asshole post, so I'm not, whether or not they're the asshole isn't what they wanted to know. The only thing I could think was the husband, or like the widowed husband, probably just saw the sister in her, and that's why he did that. I'm curious how similar the sister and her look, because I feel like there was another Reddit story I saw where this guy had a kid, and he lost his wife in childbirth, and the guy went after a girl because she reminded him of his ex. So it's similar in that sense where it's like, if he was really in love with the sister, he may be just wanting to be with someone who reminds him of the sister. And one of the comments was like, oh, he's definitely moving away now. And I hope he doesn't, but if there's like a tension there, it definitely could lead to him deciding to move out of state. Our Wuthering Waves. I'm using my blood as a way to save up for Scar. This title might sound crazy, but hear me out. Where I live, I can go donate my blood, 500 milliliters, or 500 ml, and I get 27 euros every time. I could go every 3 months. To get a 5-star guaranteed, you need to make 16 10 times pulls. That's 25,600 asterite. The pass that you could buy costs $5.99 for me at least, and after 30 days you get a total of 3,000 asterite. The pass runs out after 30 days, but with 27 euros you can buy 4, which lasts for 4 months. During these 4 major months, I can donate again, and then get another 4 months worth, adding up to 8 months. This is important. So 25,600 divided by 3,000 equals 8.533333. This means after about 8 months, I will have enough to guarantee me a copy of Scar. So basically, I pay 1 liter of my blood for a copy of Scar. And some might say that this takes way too long, but keep in mind, Scar is an extremely hyped character. Hyped characters often get released after a long time for 2 reasons. 1, to keep people playing. They want Scar, so they'll obviously keep playing till he's out. And 2, to bring people in and back who love Scar. If a hyped character like him gets released, I can see a lot of people starting to play or coming back from stopping playing. So realistically, he's not coming out anytime soon. Edit 2, since my blood goes to people who need it, I save their lives. That basically means Scar existing and saving people from dying. Imagine the reason you receive a life-saving blood transfusion is because of Scar. Peak character, for real. Oh, first comment, I tried doing that back in the Genshin 2.0 update. I really wanted to see 6 Raiden. It didn't work out because the nurses in the blood-letting center had so many questions I couldn't answer. Like, why do you have this much blood? Where did you get it all? And why is it in a bucket? That's wild. I mean, go off if you want to get, like, if you want to use your blood to buy a character. And I mean, it's going to, like, people in need, so I mean, I can't complain that much. I think after a couple months, though, can't they, like, if you get blood taken from you, can you keep going back and back, or is that unhealthy? Because it sounds unhealthy to me, but I don't know. It sounds crazier, before you read it, and then it gets kind of like normal-ish when you read it. Am I the asshole for planning on coming out to my family this summer, even though it might tear my family apart? Hey y'all, I'm new to Reddit, and I'm not exactly sure how to format these in whatever weird way you guys do it. But I did watch a lot of these Am I the Asshole stories on Smosh Pit, and I figured I could hear for judgment about something I'm going through. I, 17 female, am planning on coming out as trans, male to female, this summer. My mom, 41, has issues with this because according to her, I'm not mature enough to make this decision, even though I've been having these thoughts for 3 years now. I know what I want, and because of that, I'm going to force my family to pick sides. And I don't care about it because if they don't like me the way I am, they never were and never will be my family ever. I understand that's cruel, but I've learned the hard way you can't talk someone out of their hateful ways. And she also wants me to move out first, which honestly sounds like she doesn't want me under her roof to save some face for herself to our very old homophobic relatives. But also I can be in the wrong because this will 100% cause a huge rift in my already very unstable family. The details of why it's unstable aren't too important, but if y'all ask, I will provide. Just standard people hating each other and all that. But I know what I want, and every day I prolong being who I really am is agony. So am I the asshole for planning on coming out to my family this summer even though it might tear apart my family? No, they're not the asshole. Like, the mom seems like a piece of shit. Because the mom is like, oh, don't come out. I feel like the mom is shitty. I wonder what the rest of the family feels about this. I'm only worried about OP's safety doing this if there's so many homophobic relatives, and if it's gonna tear the family apart, like, how will that affect OP? Like, will it affect them negatively, and will it put them in a bad place? Because that's what I'm worried about most. I hope OP can come out and also not be, like, put into too bad of a place. And it seems like she wants to come out, and she's going to come out either way, kind of, because she knows if someone dislikes her for coming out, they're not her family, and we're never her family, you know? I feel like the commentary for this is obvious. It's like, yes, come out as long as it's safe for you to come out. The mother doesn't seem to be supportive, but I hope some of the other family members are supportive, because all she was talking about was like the negative family members, like the homophobic family members and stuff. But she said split the family, so there must be some people who would support her and stick with her. So I'm hoping for that, and come out whenever you feel safe to come out. That's what I say to everything. Alright, I think I'm gonna get going. I will see you guys next time. Comment below types of Reddit stories you want to see me read and stuff. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.